This is the Galaxy S4. It's a lot of what we heard before in rumors. We've got a 5-inch 441 ppi display. That's a 1080p display with Super AMOLED technology from Samsung. There were some rumors that it might be a Solux display. Not true. There's almost no bezel here. You can see that it's 69.8 millimeters across, 136.6 millimeters tall, and it's just 130 grams at 7.9 millimeters thin. So it's about the same size as the Galaxy S3, shockingly. It comes with 2 gigabytes of RAM on the inside, 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte storage options. There's a micro SD, which makes it expandable to 64 gigs. It runs Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. And it's got a brand new camera, a 13 megapixel camera with autofocus and video capture in 1080p, as well as a 2 megapixel front facing camera, which will be really important because they've come up with a whole lot of new camera features, one of which is dual shot. One thing that's actually really surprising is Samsung put a huge focus on health. So there's actually a S Health application. There's a pedometer embedded inside the Galaxy S4, and it'll allow you to track your steps, whether you're running, whether you're walking, whether you're climbing stairs. Hey guys, what's up? Jordan Crook here with TechCrunch, and I am talking to Drew Blackard, who is the Director of Product Planning at Samsung. It's Galaxy S4 day, right? It's here, it's alive and well, it's in our hands. It's a very real, light, and beautiful thing. Let's talk about some new features. One of the things that I noticed during the presentation was that there's a lot of focus on the camera app.
Right.
So what's new with the camera? What can we do there?
We've taken the Galaxy camera, our consumer camera UI, and brought that to the smartphone for the first time. So in terms of new modes and discovery, there's this mode wheel where you can quickly go through new modes where you get a image and a text description of new modes, so you understand what it's supposed to do and how it's going to work, because there are a lot of new modes.
Right.
A couple examples of the new modes are within here we have a racer shot, so if someone's kind of running in the background of a shot in front of say a tourist site or something like that, you can click on them and remove them from the image.
Right.
And then another cool one that we're really excited about, takes advantage of the new hardware, is the dual camera feature. So you can take dual shot is for photos of the front and back camera at the same time, and then dual record does the same thing with video. And you can select a lot of different ways to overlay it, so you can move around the overlay of the front facing camera on the screen. You can reposition it to any place that you want. You can also grab the corner there and resize it, which is pretty cool. And then you can flip between the two. So if I want to be the primary and have the piece out there be the secondary, I can flip it around. It's really cool for like sporting events and concerts. If you want the action up on stage or on field, you can take it and still get your reaction captured. Same deal for like a video blogger. If they're doing a product review, they can kind of be talking on screen and still have the product out in front of them.
There's all kinds of new air gestures and the hover touch,
right.
air view, right? Exactly. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing from consumers that makes you guys want to continue all of this smart gesturing and head tracking?
Yeah, I mean, so we started these. It's become kind of the story of the Galaxy family. A lot of them started on as early as Galaxy S2 with some of the on-device gestures that were using only the device. On Galaxy S3, we had things like Smart Stay, which for the first time was going off device, so you were looking at the screen and it wasn't going dark on you. On Note 2, we had Quick Glance, which you could kind of hover over the device and it would wake itself up. And so we've kind of seen a lot of great response from there, that people are interested in controlling the device in new and interesting ways. So on this one, as you mentioned, with Air View, you can kind of hover over a gallery, an email, or say a calendar invite and get more information from underneath it. We're also working with third parties, so Flipboards customize their app, so you can hover over one of the tiles there and get more information of what's underneath before you click into it. So it's kind of useful, but also new and innovative way to interact. Air gestures allow you to kind of go up and down on a browser page without touching it. So if you're
and you can even scroll
like
with tilting, right?
Exactly, yeah. So Smart Stay was our first feature that used the front-facing camera, and now we have Smart Pause and Smart Scroll.
Right.
So Smart Pause is if you're watching a video and you look away, it's going to pause for you because it's been watching your face. And then Smart Scroll, same deal. Is the front-facing camera will detect if I'm looking at it, and if I am, I can just tilt the device to scroll up or down.
All right, so let's move away from software for just a second. Let's talk hardware. It looks very pretty. It looks kind of similar to the Galaxy S3. It's a little like a Galaxy Note, a little like the Galaxy S2. It seems like a healthy blend.
Right.
I noticed that you guys are still using plastic for the front and back, and then I believe that this metal strip isn't actually metal; it's polycarbonate.
That's right. Yeah.
So can I ask you? The Galaxy S line has been a premium line out of Samsung. It's the best you can get, essentially, or maybe a Galaxy Note is the best you can get. There's some argument there. But if that's the case, I mean, other competitors are going to premium materials. Why is Samsung using plastic?
Right. I mean, I think first things first, it's just a consideration in terms of all the things we want to get in the device in the same or smaller frame. So, on the Galaxy S4, we have a larger display, we have a higher megapixel camera, we have, more cores in the processor, a larger capacity battery, an IR sensor for the TV remote. So we're adding all this stuff, and it's actually a smaller frame than GS3. So the height and width dimensions are very similar.
Yeah.
So it's almost a millimeter slimmer at 7.9 millimeters. So there's a whole lot of effort that goes into getting it down that size.
Okay, so let's finish up by talking about NFC. It was a big deal in the Galaxy S3. A whole lot of new features came out, and I know you guys have focused a lot on software with this phone.
Right.
So what can we expect that's new out of like Samsung's NFC venture?
Right, NFC stuff. I mean, primarily it becomes more pairing and more situations. So Group Play is an example of our group sharing, screen sharing application, and you can now pair devices just by touching them, as opposed to before you were connecting over Wi-Fi and detecting people. So simplicity there. Same with ShareShot, which we've had in a lot of our US TV commercials, where you can pair devices in ShareShot using NFC. So a lot of it right now is focused on ease of use and pairing to other Galaxy S users, so you can kind of enhance and use those software features.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Drew. I really appreciate your time.
Sure.